Ready.
All right, well, welcome to the Landmark Commission August meeting. Can we have a roll call, please?
Alan Griffiths,
Here?
Elliot Dyer,
Here.
Mike Meisner,
Here.
Louis Schultz,
Here.
Ryan Whaley, Kima Yandel. Here.
Great, thank you. Have a copy of the minutes for the last meeting, which was April 19th. Are there any questions or comments on the minutes? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Somebody say so moved or so moved?
Yeah, we got a move and a second.
Second.
And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
We don't need to do a roll call, do we, for the minutes? No, I don't think so. We'll go with the lawyer. Sarah's good.
No.
Unless you prefer that, but
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay. We do need to do two things. One is to introduce and welcome Elliot Dyer, who is our new member to his first meeting. He's been a member of the commission since March, but or I guess since April. So, were you at that meeting?
I was at the last meeting.
Yeah, you did.
Perfect.
So,
Great. Then
it's been a couple months.
Then welcome again.
Thank you.
Been so long I forgot.
Yeah.
And also to announce that Rob Truca resigned from the Landmark Commission last month, which leaves a gaping vacancy as the vice chair of the commission. So without further ado, I would like to amend the agenda to add an election of a vice chair. Can I have a motion to amend the agenda?
So moved.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No? Okay. So we'll proceed to that then. We need to elect a vice chair. I am the chair. Rob was the vice chair. Ryan has previously been the vice chair, and he's not here to defend himself, so.
I say I'd like to nominate Ryan Whaley as vice chair. He'd be good.
He'd be great. Do I have a second for that nomination?
I'll nominate Kima.
Kima. There we go.
Kima wants to do it as well, I think.
Okay. We have a second for Kima.
I'd second that.
Okay. We have a second for Ryan. He's not here to defend himself. I have a feeling he probably doesn't want to do it again.
Okay.
He goes skiing a lot.
Kima, do you have a pitch or?
A pitch.
I'm
No,
so excited.
I'm putting you on the
An
spot.
expression of willingness.
Campaign slogan at least.
I'll do it if you guys want to vote me in there.
Okay.
That's my pitch.
All right, well, then let us call the roll on the question of nominating or electing Kima to be the vice chair, please.
Alan Griffiths,
Yes.
Elliot Dyer,
Yes.
Mike Meisner,
Yes.
Louis Schultz,
Yes.
Kima Yandel.
Abstain.
Great, thank you, Kima, and congratulations. Okay, so we have one application and some administrative approvals. So we'll proceed to item 3, our application for 303 East Washington Street.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for an exterior mural and also an exterior paint color alteration at 303 East Washington Street. This location is on the National Register of Historic Places. It was built between 1848 and 1853. There was not a specific date, so it's a rough estimate. This has historically been a multifamily dwelling since it was built. It's also a great example of an existing multifamily dwelling from the 19th century. So the proposal is, there's 2 projects: the painted exterior mural on the northern facade exterior, which is the rear exterior of the building. If you look at all those images there, that is the rear exterior. The submitted materials state that the muralist that is anticipated to do the project is an accredited professional, has done recent work in Sandusky. Some of his work locally has been the paintings inside the Hography building and also the exterior mural at the A&B Cycle Shop on Washington Street, West Washington Street. The paint specified being used is a Sherwin-Williams XP paint specifically formulated for use on brick and masonry. And the website for this paint states that it is a breathable paint designed to reduce blistering and coating failure, and utilization of this paint will ensure the continued health of the underlying structure. Item number 2 is the exterior paint color alteration. So they're looking at changing the secondary color alteration. Currently it's a light blue color, looking to change it to a light brown. What's also included in this work, if you look at the bottom left image on the screen, is the stairwell cover That's also going to be the light brown, which on that screen is highlighted in the red. They want to do the stairwell color to that lighter brown. They have stated, the applicant, that it'll be better for the mural and cause more contrast, which would be better for the paint. So staff's determined that the proposed mural and paint color change is appropriate to this structure based on the following analysis. The re-elevation on which the mural is proposed is not significant to the character of the building itself. All proposed areas of the mural to be painted are currently painted already. For the style and setting of the building, the mural is appropriate and would contribute to the overall character and vibrancy of downtown Sandusky, and proposed paint is appropriate for masonry and the long-term health of the building. Staff commends the owners for once again investing more and more money into this building and the continued improvements to beautify it. Overall, staff supports the project and recommends the granting of the certificate of appropriateness with the following conditions, and that's our standard that all applicable permits are obtained through the building department, engineering department, division of planning, any other applicable agency prior to any construction or alteration. Thank you.
I'll just add one comment that if you're interested in more about the mural after today, assuming it could get approved, which we're not supposed to evaluate for a landmarks commission the art in any way. It's the location and the size of the mural and its appropriateness to be on a specific structure. But if you are interested in that, it was in front of the Arts Commission, the Public Arts and Culture Commission yesterday, and they approved a grant to support the mural on the building.
Oh, okay, great.
And typically, so the last time we had a mural conversation at Landmarks, the commissioners were very interested in allowing murals when they're appropriate, and we defined some parameters for that where they could be potentially staff approved. And that was similar to the previous case when they're not on a surface that is iconic to the most stylized portions of the building, like if they're on a sidewall, for example, and a couple other factors. But we specifically said if it's individually listed in the National Register, that we would bring it back to commission.
Thank you. Do we have a rep from the building owners here? You're welcome to come and speak. You're not required to if you don't want to, but if you would like to speak, that'd be great.
Yes. So, yeah, if you can see the, sorry.
We just start with your name.
Oh, my name is Mimi Chicotel. Hi, so we own this building since 2021, and this is an 8-unit building. The mural is going to be the largest today, and then we're very excited about this opportunity. And the color is really to match and maximize the utilization of the mural itself, because it's going to be yellow, purple, and the yellow birds is going to be beautiful. And then because the blue didn't really match the painting itself, so that's why we want to enhance the building. And then this is going to be the first residential mural, so this is we feel that residents should enjoy it as well, not just commercial buildings. So that's why we're trying to do this project, and I would appreciate your approval. Yeah.
Thank you. Perfect. Any questions from commissioners to Ms. Chicotel?
Mr. Chairman, I do have a question. Do you know, was the stairwell enclosed like that with the wood on it when you bought the place in 21?
Yeah, it's already
It was already like
enclosed,
that? You
yes.
didn't do any alterations? Okay.
Yes, I think it was enclosed about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's been like this for a long time. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to the mural or the colors. I just would like to say that, showing my age, I remember that being an open stairwell.
Yes, I do.
And I'm sure it's not smoke-proof, and it's not sprinklered, and that is not a good thing for a fire on the first floor and somebody on the fourth floor trying to get up the stairs. So I don't know if the building department approved that or they went through code compliance, but that's my only conversation. I'd like just want on the record for the minutes.
Understood. Thank you. Anybody else? I think my only comment in general is, we have, as Aaron pointed out at the beginning, had a conversation about murals. I think generally we're pro murals where they're not detracting from the historic nature of a building and they're done in a way that respects the structure, in this case of brickwork, et cetera. So personally, I think this is a great idea. Okay,
I do have one question. Typically, like, the max age of a mural is like 7 years, I believe. What will you do when it fades?
So the artist already talked about it yesterday. He believes the age of the paint can last 20 to 30 years.
Oh.
Yeah, so because of the technology nowadays, we actually look at some of the paints is actually self-cleaning, and then it's weatherproof and it's really long-lasting. Yeah.
I'm thinking the murals in Bucyrus, which are spectacular, have been up for quite a while, and they still don't seem to have faded yet.
okay, good. All right, anything else? Okay, can we have a motion on this particular application, please?
Move that we approve the mural.
Okay. Do you want to add subject to the conditions from staff's recommendations, just about?
Subject to staff recommendations, yes.
You know, a second?
Second.
Second. All right, Quinn, would you like to call the roll?
Kima Yandel,
Yes.
Louis Schultz,
Yes.
Mike Meisner,
Yes.
Elliot Dyer,
Yes.
Alan Griffiths.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Your application is approved. Congratulations. We're not here to comment on the aesthetic of the art, but it looks great to me as someone who's a bit of a birder, so.
Since the motion just specifically said mural, would you also do a motion for the color
Oh,
change
yes.
of the trim?
We also have a motion to approve the color change of the trim for the application.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Second? Want to call the roll?
Louis Schultz,
Yes.
Elliot Dyer,
Yes.
Alan Griffiths,
Yes?
Kima Yandel,
Yes.
Mike Meisner.
Yes.
Perfect. Great, congratulations, thank you very much. Okay, and then we have some administrative approvals.
Yeah, so we've,
Last meeting, Alex?
we have 3 administrative approvals. The first 2 are the same applicants at the same location. They did 2 separate applications, so I'm going to combine them just to summarize as much as possible, but just for the record, they are 2 separate signs with 2 separate applications. So the first one, I'll give an overbrief for both properties and then split them off from there. It is the 431 Columbus Ave Church. This is on the National Register of Historic Places. There was not a lot of information because our current map that we use from the state's been down for the last 9 days, so I don't have a lot of ways to find or retrieve information. And we have not done this property, at least since I've been with the city, and I couldn't find any documents on historical information. There's something, I just don't have the information or any access to it. So the sign is for a monument sign, both of our monument signs. But for this one, they replaced the face. It's on the eastern side of the building. It's a double-sided sign. The foam letters and anchored with stucco. Staff determined the sign complies with the Sandusky preservation guidelines. There's no record on when the sign was installed, but it determined the sign was installed prior to 2013. Staff determined that it's a good quality design with simple graphics and simple messages. The shape is appropriate, the colors are not fluorescent, and meet the guidelines. Staff determined the sign meets all requirements from our guidelines and approved the designs of the monument sign refacing. The shapes are appropriate, not fluorescent, or primary and not flashy. And because of this, we granted administrative approval on April 26th of 2023. Now the second signage at this location is also a monument sign, was pre-existing. Also, it was not actually, this was installed later. This was installed between 2016 and 2019. We couldn't determine when this was installed either per our records. But same thing, complies with all of our guidelines. It meets all of our graphics and color requirements. Because the sign was, both these signs were refacing and they're not new installations, they didn't require any additional permit reviews because they were not expanding the signage. Staff's determined that this sign also meets all requirements from the guidelines and approved administratively on April 26th of 2023. And then the third item for administrative approvals is for a door replacement at 231 West Water Street. This is a contributing structure in the downtown Sandusky Commercial Historic District. The door is on the southern side of the building facing Water Street. It's It's going to be an all-glass transom door with glass side lights and aluminum bronze framing throughout. The applicant also asked for permission to paint the exterior door black, the existing door, until the new door is installed. Staff determined that the new door installation and the existing door being painted black complies with the Sandusky Preservation Design Guidelines. Since the door is not original, there's no record that this door is original that we could find, nor the transom or the side lights. Staff determined the door replacement meets all required guidelines. The glass is not stained or leaded. The door is not considered a residential stock door. Because of this, staff granted administrative approval for the door on May 4th of 2023.
I did walk past that one the other day, and it is installed. It looks nice.
Okay, good.
They were just, they were on hold for the door. That's why they asked, could we paint what we've got in the meantime while we're waiting on the door? But looks like they got it. The new door came and they got it installed.
Great, very good. And I've walked past the Lost Sailor Agent sign many times. Looks great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
It turned out nice.
Good. Do we have other business?
I can give you just an update on the process of the design guidelines. So we're in the midst of our design guidelines update, as you all know, the Historic Preservation Design Guidelines. We have seen from the consultant team a flip through of the updated template of what that'll look like. It has much more clear layout and headers to find the things you're looking for. They're also looking at doing a table structure where they have, the top one was like routine maintenance item, like no need to get approval, to really help the users and the owners when they're looking for something, be like, okay, well, if I do this, I don't have to get approval because it's just maintenance. If I do this, staff can approve it. If I do this, Landmarks has to approve it, and they probably will. If I do this, Landmarks might not approve it. If I do this, that's not recommended and it's probably not going to get approved, and really help lay out very clearly. So I think that's going to look really nice. We have not received the copy to mark up yet. They just have shown us a couple iterative versions as they get to like what they're calling a 60% draft, which is due to us, I think it was like early August. Does that sound right?
August 3rd is what I remember.
Yeah,
It might-
something,
it's either the 3rd or the
we didn't
5th.
give them a hard deadline, but that's kind of our target is the first week of August. They've also done a series of conversations with, I think each of you were reached out to, and we had the public meeting here, and then we built a stakeholder list for them of about 30 people, including applicants that had gone through the process, architects and designers that had gone through the Landmarks process, city commissioners, some building owners, so really helping understand what was their frustrations in the past, or what was working, what was not working, and they've conducted a number of those conversations just to really help point us in a direction. What else? The next step will be for staff to get that first draft, and we'll mark it up, and then they'll send it to the State Historic Preservation Office. That's that they get a period of time to review to make sure we're not drafting anything that they're not going to be able to approve, and then we'll bring it back to you for our next public meeting, which I think we have targeted for the September Landmarks Commission meeting. So mark your calendars for that one, and we'll make sure to get some messaging out in plenty of time ahead of time for that.
Aaron, how was it that we had an issue with, we approved some remodels on the brick structure on the south side of West Washington, and then the windows that went in were not what we'd approved.
Yes.
And I wondered how that was resolved.
West Washington, so that got, when the windows that were not approved started getting installed, that got a stop work order on it.
Right.
And we immediately began working with the applicant to pick out something appropriate that had been approved. She sent us dimensions, the specific product type, and we very carefully documented, yes, these are appropriate. We actually went out with our chief building official and we counted how many bricks, like we measured how tall a brick is and how many bricks tall each window was to make sure that the ones she was ordering were appropriate to the size of the window openings of that structure. And as far as I know, that those have been ordered and they will be installed when they come in. I have not seen, the stop work order was lifted, so they could continue the other work, and I think they're waiting on those windows to come in.
Great. Anybody else, any questions? Cool. Okay, well, in that case, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.